Hello there. My name is Ludovick Simon Mwijage. I will get to the point. The whole issue is about democracy. Naturally, there are those who would argue that democracy is, after all, a relative term. This is because democracy does not only imply a system of government, but also a particular social organization. Some people speak of political democracy, whilst others speak of economic democracy. So it therefore depends on which end of the stick one is holding. That notwithstanding, democracy per se cannot be quantified by a local potentate's own beliefs, be it they religious, cultural, or political, as some people tend to argue. Rather, true democracy, which is capable of sustaining its claim to stand for the rights and sanctity of a human person, is defined by precepts which aspire to genuine democratic practice. More importantly, these precepts derive their binding force from commonly accepted political principles and practice, plus, of course, the whole corpus of international legal instruments governing human rights and fundamental freedoms. Consequently, democracy and human rights are inextricably intertwined in the sense that both are enjoyed concurrently. Therefore, as with civil rights and civil liberties, democracy is not a matter of choice on the part of a national ruler, but an obligatory political conduct which is capable of being enforced by the international community. This is more so where its negation as a negative repercussion beyond a nation-state's own borders, or if it results in widespread abuses of human rights. This was seemingly reaffirmed when in 2005 at the General Assembly, member states of the United Nations universally endorsed the principle known as the responsibility to protect. Under this principle, should a sovereign state fail to protect those who live within its boundaries, then that onus shifts to others, i.e., the international community. Now, be that as it may, Tanzania's post-independence constitution utterly precluded the prospect of sovereignty being a repository of a single individual. Instead, it defined the allocation of power between the three estates of the land and spelled out the basis upon which political authority was to be exercised. It further envisaged a system of government which imposed obligations on public officials who were responsible for making decisions that affected others. Such obligations included, inter alia, acting fairly and in good faith, without bias or prejudice, and with absolute impartiality. It is on the basis of these arguments, therefore, that I contend that it was a violation of the spirit of the Constitution, if not altogether a criminal act anyway, for Mr. Nyerere to have usurped sovereign authority shortly after the attainment of political independence from Britain in 1961. The system of government envisaged by the Constitution he deposed, which I have explained, was replaced by a regime of personal rule under which Mr. Nyerere no longer tolerated being questioned. Dissenters, both imaginary and real, were incarcerated invariably without trial, whilst many others, especially in Zanzibar, suffered extrajudicial execution ostensibly without due process of the law. Now, if ultimately the Holy See proclaims Nyerere to be a saint, well, it will not only be making a mockery of this ecclesiastical tradition which for ages has been a preserve for saintly people, but it will also be dishonoring the memory of those who suffered and perished under Mr. Nyerere's undoubted tyranny. That's all I have to say today. Thank you.